Hi, my name is Andile Mkhonza and this is my literacy journey. My journey began from the time I would read my older sister's school books and pronounce words I would barely understand to discovering a whole world of creative writing. My sister basically played a huge role in my literacy journey, as she would teach me how to respond to commands such as hold your head, touch your nose, touch your mouth, even from the time I went to grade R. This in fact helped me progress easily in school by the time I was actually taught how to read and write. My main highlight of my literacy journey was the first time I read a short novel named My Sister is Missing by Deborah O. Ewing by the time I was 14 years of age. That book introduced me to a whole world of the art of creative writing, which wouldn't have happened had I not received the basic skills I did at a young age. In pursuit for more books to read, my older brother actually, would teach me how to use the laptop and the internet to search for more books. This was how I learned my digital and information literacy skills. Now I am comfortable with managing large amounts of reading required at university level, and I am able to manage how to store important documents and other media related software for entertainment purposes. With this being said, all of our literacy journeys are different, but all of them lead to a place where each and every one of us is able to find their place in this world. Thank you for listening to my literacy story. Au revoir.
Hi, I go by the name of Senamile Mthembu, and this is my literacy journey. My literacy journey began in a small living room where my grandmother taught me how to write and read alphabets, to creating words with those alphabets. Those early moments planted the seed of lifelong relationship with reading and writing. A major turning point came in the second grade when my teacher, Mrs. Dombela, appointed me to be one of the learners to participate in a reading competition that was going to be held in another school. That competition gave me confidence about my reading skills and encouraged me to excel in reading and writing. Later, my teacher introduced to me a book called The Magic Bean, which expanded my imagination and love for storytelling. As I progressed through high school, my relationship with literacy evolved. Reading became more analytical. I started reading and writing for purpose. I started to understand the power of tone, argument, and audience, especially in high school, where we studied essays and persuasive writing, but most important, when we did oral presentations that required us to use literacy. Now, as a university student, literacy is central to my academic life. Every module demands careful reading and critical thinking. Writing is how I learn and understand better. Looking back, I realized that literacy isn't just a skill, but a journey of growth. The confidence built through storytelling and discipline of academic writing have all contributed to who I am today. And that's my literacy journey. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Koketso, Momorobala, and I'm here to talk about my literacy journey. My literacy journey began a long way back in social movement. Growing up, I grew up in an area where there was no electricity at the time. So the only thing that could keep me busy were the newspapers and the magazines that my grandmother used to bring me from her work. My formal literacy journey or school journey began in 2010, where I went at a primary called Imakato Primary School. Starting, I was not really good as I didn't know how to write or how to read. But as my teachers taught me, I was able to master those skills of writing and reading. And then I started to give myself more time to focus on those literacies. And as a result, I was always one of the 10 best performing learners at primary. Then my journey continued to secondary school. Even in secondary school, I had more knowledge. I had mastered the skills of writing and reading. So I was always one of the best performing learners. As a result, my hard work and dedication made me to obtain results that were very impressive, and I was able to apply at the University of Pretoria. I would be lying if I say everything is going very well ever since I came here. There were times where I didn't even feel like I belong here because things were very different from how we did in high school. But I'm a person who likes to learn. So as time went by, I started to understand the system of this prestigious institution. And now I am glad because I learned new things that I didn't know before, and I'm still learning because I'm a person who likes to learn. I've learned about new literacies that I didn't know before, and I've also expanded my knowledge through the books that they have at the library. My main goal is to obtain a degree at this prestigious religious institution, and also be able to go and teach the community about the things that I learned and share my story and my literacy journey with the community. Thank you for listening to my story. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Masego Sedumedi and I'm here to tell you about my literacy journey. My literacy journey began when I was 4 years old with my mom teaching me how to write my name. By the time I reached the age of 5, my mom taught me how to read and be able to recognize words. I also learned to be able to improve my pronunciation skills and English speaking by watching cartoons in a fun way. The first book that I read was about Rapunzel, and it really helped in improving my reading skills. By the age of 8, I was able to read, write, and speak English correctly. So, this is my short story about my literacy journey, and thank you for listening to my story.
Hi, my name is Simphiwe Mciha, and this is my literacy journey. Growing up, my passion for literacy began in preschool as a whole, where my teachers sparked my love for reading and writing. One book that significantly impacted my reading and writing is The Big Match, which helped me to improve my vocabulary skills as a whole. Despite financial challenges that were caused by lack of resources, financial resources to be specific, still my enthusiasm for education and literacy grew even more stronger. My growth in literacy led to my teachers acknowledging my high grades and me being chosen to represent the school in spelling bees and reading competitions. In high school, my journey continued even more through the introduction of TV shows and shows like Trevor Noah, which helped me to experience a different perspective in terms of reading and writing. That consistency paid off in the end, as I ended up being one of the top 3 in my grade in the 11th and the 12th grade, consistently so without fail. This goes to show that literacy is a lifelong learning journey that we should continue on doing each and every day. Growth in reading and writing is still helping me out a lot, as right now I'm a first-year student at the University of Pretoria. It helps me to critically evaluate texts in assignments and research, which I'm able to do efficiently and consistently so without fail. And it helps me out a lot, as the university is an inclusive university with people from all around the country, with English as the main language that we use to communicate, which I'm able to do efficiently so, which proves that literacy is something that we should move on with in our daily lives without ceasing to learn, but hoping to learn more. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lukhele, and this is my literacy journey. My literacy journey started at the daycare center, Kubegane Daycare. I don't remember exactly how it felt at that time, but what I do remember is the feeling of being cared for and supported, especially when it came to reading. My teacher and my mother were the first people to introduce me to stories. My mother in particular played a big role, as she would read to me often and always encourage me to read on my own. One of my favorite books as a child was Jojo and the Magic Bean. I remember being completely drawn into the magic world of that book. Storytime became something I looked forward to every day. As I get older, I started reading short books on my own. I remember one school project in grade 3 where we were supposed to write an ending of a story. I chose to write an ending of The Lion and the Mouse. When my teacher read it out loud to the entire class, I felt really proud. That moment there made me realize that writing is something I can use to express myself and become more creative. Over time, my reading and writing habits have changed. These days, I mostly read on my phone, special articles, school material, and sometimes short stories on Facebook. I also write more for school now, assignments, essay, and notes, but I still try to enjoy the process. Literacy is very important in my academic life today, especially now that I'm in the University of Pretoria. I use reading and writing every day, whether it is understanding academic text, doing research, or completing assignment. The skills I developed from a young age helps me manage my workload and express my ideas clearly. I know that strong literacy skills will continue to support me in my studies in my future career. I thank you.